Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very happy to be sharing this video with you all today where I'm going to be working on 3 new Create This Book pages. I'm going to be doing one page out of each of my Create This Books, 1, 2, and 3. So the pages I've selected for today are the Create an Ink Blot page, where it basically just asks you to drop some ink onto the page and then make some observations about it, kind of just like, I guess, write down what you think or what you see. And then in my Create This Book 2, I am going to do the Create a Mini Book page, where this one kind of had a lot more steps or instructions. But basically you have to cut out the 3 rectangles on the right and then fold them together and somehow bind them together and then make a mini book and then just glue it on the next page. And then the final page that I'm going to be working on in my Create This Book 3 is going to be my Create a Mascot page, where basically you create your own team and then draw up a mascot for that team. But starting with the first page, which is the Create an Ink Plot page, I'm bringing out all of these different colored inks that I have. They came with a calligraphy set I bought a while back, but I don't really use it much except for things like this. And I kind of just started dropping it all over the page with a brush. I tried using different techniques to getting them on and tried doing it as randomly as I could. And this honestly made a huge mess, and I ended up tying my hand in the process, and this ink stained really badly. But in the end, I did finish the ink blot all over the page. Again, I try to make it random, but there are some parts I did kind of intentionally try drawing something with the ink. And I just glued this onto the book, into the page, and then sat down just staring at it for a while, just writing down different observations of different things I see in it. And then that was pretty much it for this page. It was really easy to do and to complete. The hardest part was honestly just opening the ink tubes that I used. But it was honestly really fun and relaxing just to both make the ink blot and then just sit and write down different observations. But moving on to my Create This Book 2, the Create a Mini Book page, this one actually did take a while. I cut out the page with all the rectangles and then cut them out and then glued them all together. And then I added an extra piece of paper to kind of act as the binding on the back. And then I glued it into the book, which also felt really weird gluing it in. And then I thought of for a long time what I wanted my story to be about, and then I just decided to make a little simple silly story about 2 hearts who find each other and fall in love kind of thing. And I tried recording myself drawing out and writing the story, but it's honestly kind of really hard to see because of how small the book is and how big my hand is. So I'm basically covering up the whole book. And honestly, I don't really know where this idea came from. I just knew it had to be something small and quick and easy to do. And so I decided to go for very simplistic drawings and a very simple story. But it was honestly pretty fun, and it was a nice challenge to try to fit it in this small space. I don't much prefer doing small projects. I find them very tedious and time consuming, but I did get it done. And this is how the Create a Mini Book page turned out. And here's the little story I made with basically just a bunch of heart drawings. It reads more so like a comic than an actual like novel. But moving on to the final page for today, in my Create This Book 3, I'm going to be doing the Create a Mascot page. I'm not personally super into sports, it's just not really my thing. And so when I had to think of a team and a mascot for a team, I decided to go and make a team where the sport, I guess, is sleeping or taking naps. And for the mascot, it brought me back to a drawing I did in my last Create This Book episode of a pink sleepy rabbit. And so I decided that this pink sleepy rabbit will be my mascot for this fantasy team. And so I redrew him, and I try to keep this drawing pretty similar. It's a very similar position, but this time I gave him kind of like a sports team uniform or jersey or something, and I kind of just drew him there to be the mascot for this made up team for a made up sport. And for this I actually did do and use my watercolors. I really enjoy watercolor. It just doesn't always seem to go well with me. I still need a lot of practice, and I keep making the mistake of using just regular printer paper instead of actual watercolor paper. And I also did use some black liners to block out the shape and the drawing itself so it wouldn't blend in too much with the background. And then once that was completely dried, I glued in the drawing into the page, and this is how it turned out once it was fully dried and done. It was honestly really fun to redraw a character or a drawing from a past video and kind of bring him back. And the first time I drew him, he was in colored pencil, and now it's a watercolor painting or drawing. And I really liked it. I felt like it was really fun to bring back a past character. But thank you all so much for watching this video. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Bye!